Shake it, baby. Oh yeah, shake it, shake it, shake it.
What up, out here in Phuket, Thailand? Came out to do a little reality show with Jon Jones. I was looking forward to hanging out with Jones and the team and everybody, and it didn't work out because the ops went and them Russians. But anyways, they me, so that's what it is. We're going out here in Thailand for a few days.
I don't know how Jones still holds the title, honestly. Like, I know I've mentioned when we first started speaking about this many moons ago, how I was like, no one's stripping Jones. You can't do that to him. But, mate, come on, you're taking the piss now. You're taking the piss now, bro. I was like, but let alone just, I don't know, how long's it been since Tom's fought last?
Man, almost a year. Almost a year. It's actually insane.
Fighting.
It's not fair because it's not fair on him. You've already freaking defended an interim belt, right? It's not fair. Last time he fought was 27th of July of last year in 2024. Like, I get it from his perspective that he just wants to fight, but it's not fair if his next fight is not for the undisputed title, or at least if he's not made the champion and he's going in to defend it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a rough stint. He hasn't had a ton of fights in the last 4 years.
No.
Obviously, they're all very high level and stuff, but
here's the problem, man. And I see this as a worrying thing for the heavyweight division. It's not that stacked. This is not a welterweight. This is not a lightweight.
If you could have one fight, any fight, go back in time, Nostradamus crystal ball, who would the opponent be? Would it be Khabib? Would it be Conor McGregor? Would it be somebody else?
Oh, son of a bitch, you named them both. Yeah, of course it would be a combination plate of McNuggets and tiramisu, it really would. But if I could go back and fight another time, it would be Gaethje. And I would actually give a shit and fight that one. And I wouldn't go toe-to-toe, I would fight my fight the way that I was supposed to and change future and see how it would go from that point.
Sean O'Malley wins this fight, or quite possibly never fights at 135 again. The only path for Sean O'Malley forward, just so he doesn't get in that terrible spot, I'll use Rich Franklin, I say it as respectful, but Rich was so good, but he had an Anderson problem. Rich could beat everybody up badly, except for Anderson. And, Max ended up there with Volkanovski. Sometimes this happens, and this will be Sean's last shot at Merab. They're not going to go to a part 3. And if he can't get around Merab, he's going to have to go up to 145, and that's a big prediction. Sean O'Malley is our sport's biggest star. When the biggest star is having to start worrying about job security, you have something interesting.
So they don't call Merab the machine for nothing, right? This dude's riding a 12-fight win streak. Specifically, what do you think you have to do to end that streak and get that strap back next week?
I got to win the first 3 rounds, and I got to win the last 2 rounds. I got to break the machine. I got to beat him. I gotta win the positions, and I know I can beat Merab. He's open to be getting knocked out. I'm very confident that I could put his lights out. I'm also confident I could beat him in a 5-round fight.
I was just gonna say, Sean, I know you'll take it any way it comes, but how do you think it'll come? How do you think that ends? Do you think you knock him out?
There's definitely a possibility of me putting his lights out. But I'm ready to go for 25 minutes. I'm ready to have to dig deep.
All Belal has ever done is fight the hardest guys, ask for opportunities, keep his mouth shut when it doesn't go his way. He walks out there in an undercard against Sean Brady, who, by the way, nobody else has ever, prior or since, even come close to beating. They don't ever give him his credit. Now, you got to understand, the best thing that he's done, which is 3 days ago, which is about 2 weeks after his fight, he called for his next fight, which, by the way, had he won, is what he would have done about 3 days ago. So you get these guys, and the world's a big place. You get these guys that get stuck in the cracks, Mo. They can't get out of it. They're depressed. They drop the game-winning pass back in high school, and they're still drunks to this day. He did the exact same thing in a loss that he would have done with the win, all the way to the opponent. If he would have won that fight, he would have called for the fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov. He lost the fight. He's calling for a fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov. Belal is doing everything. There's a time in life where if you ever want to become a gentleman, you have to learn how to lose. You have to learn that if things don't go your way, you get back on that horse. And that's a great example that Belal set for everybody, and it's yet another thing that he won't get credit for, but he deserves it.
Mate, no one wants to see this fight. No one.
Yes.
no one was sitting at home thinking, hey, you know what fight I want to run back? Volk and Yair. Okay? Not yet anyway, because Volk did some good, honest work in that first fight, okay? Mm-hmm. And I thought Yair had a lot to work on from that fight. I think a lot of it was mental. That's how I walked away from that fight. I thought that fight was very one-sided. Now, there was a storyline that whole fight week with him and Diego.
Yes.
Okay? I wanted that fight to happen. Tell me that fight couldn't have headlined UFC Mexico.